This video is about the Samsung Galaxy A25. I will tell you 7 reasons why you should buy it, but also 3 reasons why you should avoid it. When it comes to its price and performance, this smartphone is positioned right in the middle, between the A15 and A35. But as you will see, even though it's cheap, it's quite well equipped. Let's begin with the good things. The A25 comes with a 6.5-inch Super AMOLED display. Nothing amazing here, it's not Samsung's cheapest phone, so an AMOLED display was expected. It shows vibrant images, has good color accuracy, and is comfortable for your eyes. The Full HD Plus resolution is also good. It's the same resolution found on many of Samsung's expensive S-series phones, so you'll see clear images. But here's what surprised me, 2 things. This budget phone doesn't just have a 90Hz refresh rate, it actually comes with a 120Hz refresh rate, making it more advanced. You'll definitely notice smoother motion on the screen. Another awesome feature is the 1000 nit peak brightness, which is better than the 800 nits found on the cheaper A15. So you won't have any issues using the screen outdoors, even in bright sunlight. Moving on to the second pro, stereo speakers. If you get an A25 and watch YouTube, you'll have a great video experience. This is not only because of the good display, but also because sound comes from both the top and the bottom of the phone. It's not very enjoyable to watch videos with just a single loudspeaker like on the A15. The A25 has 2, making it Samsung's cheapest model with stereo speakers. Stereo sound provides a much more immersive experience when you're watching videos or just listening to music. The third pro is also related to sound, the 3.5mm headphone jack. Here we have the A25 and the more expensive A35. As you can see, our phone has a headphone jack, but they removed it on the A35. Nowadays, there's a trend of excluding the headphone jack, and the A25 might very well be one of the last Samsung phones to have it. Although many people buy Bluetooth headphones since there are plenty of affordable options, a lot of users still prefer to plug in wired headphones directly. The A25 lets you do that, and that's a nice feature. The fourth pro is of course the price. A25's price just dropped. It was launched in December 2023, so it has been on the market for quite a while. Today, you can get one for just $200 or even less. That's a great price for a phone with stereo speakers and a 120Hz Super AMOLED display, but the benefits don't end here. Fifth pro, the good cameras. The A25 comes with a 50MP main camera, an 8MP ultra-wide, and a 2MP macro camera. On the front, we get the usual 13MP selfie camera. The performance of these cameras doesn't really differ much from what we see on the cheaper model, the A15, which I tested in the park. It did a good job. The main difference comes when recording videos, and here's a major upgrade. The A25 can record 4K videos at 30 frames per second. However, this option is only available when using the main camera. If you use the ultra-wide camera, it can only record in Full HD at 30 frames per second. The same goes for video recording with the selfie camera. It only captures in Full HD. Still, the fact that you can record in 4K with the main camera is a great feature for a $200 smartphone. On top of that, when it comes to photos, the ultra-wide camera also received an upgrade. Compared to A15's ultra-wide camera, which could only take 5MP photos, A25's ultra-wide camera captures 8MP, resulting in much more detail. 6 Pro, 4 years of Android updates. Straight out of the box, the phone is secured by Knox and runs the recent Android 14 with One UI 6.1. But what's interesting is that all A-series phones from this generation, whether it's the A15, A25 or A35, come with 4 years of Android updates, which is great. If you buy an A25 now, it should be good until December 2027 when it will receive its last OS update. 7 Pro, plenty of storage. Depending on your budget, there are 5 versions of this phone to choose from. It doesn't matter which version you buy, even the cheapest one comes with at least 128GB of internal storage. Just to put things into perspective, the A23 only had 64GB of internal storage on its cheapest version, but the A25 comes with twice as much, so you'll have plenty of space to store photos and videos. Additionally, Samsung included a microSD card slot in the SIM tray for memory expansion. You can add a card of up to 1TB, which is great. These were the good things. Now let's also look at the downsides, and we're not gonna go easy on this phone because it's not Samsung's cheapest phone. We're expecting good results. This being said, here is the first con: mediocre hardware performance. I'm not gonna show you how I play games, I have a better option. The performance in numbers from websites that test it. If you do the math, you'll find that the Samsung A25 is on average 40% better than the A15 across benchmarks, while the A35 is roughly 28% better than the A25. The difference between the cheapest and second cheapest phone isn't that big. To really feel that the A25 is better than the A15 in real-life usage, it should have been at least 50% better, but it's not. It handles gaming quite well and doesn't heat up too much, but if you want a phone with a truly great performance, it's better to go for an A35. As I told you, it's not Samsung's cheapest phone, so for this review, we raised the bar a bit. The A25 has good hardware, but not great. The second con has to be about dust and water protection. I was expecting an IP54 rating for dust and water splashes. If you look at a phone with an IP54 rating, you'll see that its SIM tray is rubberized, preventing dust and water from getting in. On a 25 SIM tray, there's no rubber, so you'll have to be careful with it. 1 or 2 drops of water probably won't hurt it, but you'll have to be more cautious with this phone if you go outside on a rainy day or if you're next to the sink washing dishes. The third con, no video stabilization while recording in 4K. If there's one thing I don't like, it's shaky footage. When you record in 4K, the video stabilization option on this phone is turned off. For sure, this phone has enough processing power to handle that, but it's turned off because of market segmentation. This is something all brands do. Only if you choose to record videos in Full HD will the image stabilization option be available. Of course, you can stabilize your footage in a video editing software, but a lot of people don't want to do that extra step. Since it's not the cheapest Samsung phone, it would have been great to have stabilized 4K footage straight from the phone. Okay, let me show you all the pros and cons, and afterwards I'm gonna share my final opinion about the A25. On the pro side, we have a 6.5-inch 120Hz Super AMOLED display, stereo speakers, a 3.5mm headphone port, a good price, good cameras, 4 OS updates, and plenty of storage space. The downsides are mediocre hardware performance, no IP54 rating against dust and water, and no stabilization for 4K video. In conclusion, it's a good budget phone, no doubt about that. It comes with a good screen, stereo speakers, and a decent performance. However, if you do a lot of gaming, need better cameras, and want image stabilization while recording in 4K, it's better to get an A35. But if you're the type of user who isn't a heavy gamer but does multitasking and wants smooth navigation with no lag, this is it. It's definitely better than the A15 and overall a good budget phone. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and if you want to see my reviews I made about the A15 and A16, click on the screen on the one you'd like to watch. Take care guys.